One of my most favorite Disney princesses is Snow White. I always felt that as an Asian American, it was probably the most similar princess I could dress up like. Her fairy tale story is one of my favorite classics. As many of you guys requested, today I'll be showing you how to make your own chibi Snow White figurine. Let's get started. Starting off with the head, you will need a flesh-colored clay rolled into a ball like so. With a general piece of black clay, cut it in half with a blade. With one of the pieces, roll it gently into a flat, even sheet. When you're done, you're going to place the piece in front of the face to map out her bangs. Once you're happy with the location of the bangs on her face, I'm going to use a blade to mark the spot where I want the bangs to end. Now just remove the black clay sheet and cut out the bangs with your blade. I want Snow White to have bangs that swoop to one side, so I'm going to mark where her hair will part on the side. Once you're done marking the places, just cut it out and round off any harsh edges with a blade. When you put the hair back onto the head, again do the same thing, just round off any unsmooth edges. You can use a clay tool or your fingers to smooth out the uneven parts. Great, so remember all that clay you used earlier to make a sheet? Well, you're going to use the remaining pieces to make the rest of her hair on the back. You're going to have the entire back piece of the head covered in black clay. Just make sure you line the bottom and the sides of her head evenly and just let all the excess clay build up on the crown of her head. It should look something like this when you're done. Cut off all the excess clay with the blade, and of course, gently roll out any unsmooth surfaces with your clay tools or fingers. With the other half of your black clay, you're going to roll multiple small black spheres to form Snow White's luscious bob curls. Just gently attach each of the balls along the bottom of her head and smooth out the attachment areas with a clay tool or your fingers. Make sure you spend extra time and care to make her hair look even and blended in flawlessly. For the headband, roll a piece of red clay into a long snake with the thickest portion in the center. With a rolling tool, flatten the snake out to form the headband and center it on the crown of her forehead. The head should look something like this by now. To form the bows, you're going to need some pieces of red clay. What you're going to do is make tiny little red hearts to form half of the bow. You're going to attach one of these hearts onto one side of her head with the round part facing outward. Then you're going to make another little red heart to mirror it on the other side. Once you add on the other heart, it should look like a bow already. Just to give it a little more definition, all you have to do is add a little red circle of clay in the center to complete your bow. Great! Snow White's head is all finished. We'll be moving on to the body. Starting with a yellow piece of clay, carefully shape it into a cone to form the bottom of her dress. Make sure all the sides of the cone are even and all large lumps are gone. With the blade, you're going to cut out a small diamond on the top where her torso will fit right in. When you're done, you should have something that looks kind of like this. For her torso, you're going to take a blue piece of navy blue clay and you're going to shape it into a flat rectangle. To cut off a piece of the torso in an angle in order to form a diamond tip that will fit into her yellow dress bottom. For detailing, roll a piece of yellow clay into a long, thin piece of clay. Place this piece of clay along the center of her torso and gently attach the upper torso and yellow skirt together. You can reshape the upper torso a little bit if you need to. For her adorable puffy sleeves, you're going to roll a light blue piece of clay into a ball. Then roll a long piece of red clay into a snake and cut it into several pieces of red clay to form the detailing on her sleeves. Roll these little pieces of red clay into either a long oval or a teardrop. You're going to attach these pieces vertically along the blue circle and space them out evenly to form the details. You can use your fingers or clay tools to help even out the surfaces. When you're done, just attach each of the sleeve onto each side of the torso in order to complete her dress. Now let's give Snow White some arms. Just roll a piece of flesh-colored clay out into a long snake. Cut out 2 small pieces with your blade, and you're going to attach these arms carefully into the center of each sleeve. And you've now pretty much completed Snow White's body. To attach the head and body together, I'm going to use a piece of metal wire to help hold the pieces together better. Place the metal wire into the body first, and then gently attach the head on the top. Your basic Snow White figurine is almost done. Now let's move on to the finer details. For her eyes, I'm using some pieces of brown clay and placing them where I want them to be on her face. You're going to flatten them out a little bit with a blade. You're going to place a tiny red piece of clay in the center to form her little red mouth, and of course add some little pieces of white clay onto each eye to give it a little more depth and shine. Of course, no princess can go without some rosy pink cheeks, so make sure you roll out some pink clay to put cheeks on both sides. Now roll a long piece of white clay to form the ruffles on the bottom of her skirt. Stick the snake along the edge of the skirt, and using a blade, you're going to form indentations all along the edge. Make sure you take your time when you do this. And of course, Snow White wouldn't be complete without her red apple, so roll out a small piece of red clay to form the apple. With a green piece of clay, shape it into a leaf by pinching both edges of the clay. Then roll a piece of brown clay to form the stem and stick the leaf and the stem at the very top. You can put the apple wherever you want, but I want her to be holding her red apple in her hand. And your Snow White figurine is pretty much all done. All you have to do is bake it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please show your support by liking this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. My Instagram username is FlyingMio. You can follow me there if you want. Let me know what you guys think about this video, and I am open to taking suggestions. I'll see you guys soon, and good luck.